has released his second mixtape Mono, including songs about Seoul and Tokyo. Let's break down the Korean lyrics and the locations shown in the Seoul lyric video. Seoul is the capital and the largest city of South Korea. The word Seoul actually just means a capital city. So it's both a proper noun for this particular city and also a regular noun conveying the concept of a main city. So just how important is Seoul in Korea? Let's see. The population of South Korea is about 50 million. 25 million, half of the country's population, live in the greater Seoul metropolitan area. So the Korean life can be pretty much categorized to the Seoul area life versus the other. The north of the river is called Gangbuk and the south is called Gangnam. And Gangnam is relatively new development that transformed from cabbage fields to skyscrapers since the 1970s. The first shot shows Lotte World Tower, the symbolic new tower of Seoul in the south, and Namsan Tower in the background, the symbolic old tower of Seoul in the north. Then you see Gangnam-daero, the main boulevard of the south, and the Gangnam subway station intersection, the heart of South. Big Hit Entertainment is also located in the south, 20 minutes from Gangnam Station.
차가운 새벽 공기에 난 몰래 눈을 뜨네 이 도시의 harmony 난 너무나 익숙해 내 어린 날들은 아득하고 빌딩과 차들만 가득해도 이젠 여기가 나의 집인걸.
RM is from a satellite city called Ilsan, but he must have spent a lot of time in Seoul, especially since he joined Big Hit Entertainment. So the video starts in the south and slowly travels to the north via Seongsu-daegyo, one of the 31 bridges across Han River. I told you it's a big city and a big river. To Gangbyeon-bukno, which literally means Northern Riverside Road. From the get-go, you can see this is not an upbeat song. You can sense a depressing, cold, dry, inhumane place, but also a vague and strange sentiment of attachment and hope. And for many Koreans, that is spot on.
너왜 서울과 바람이 비슷한 걸까 무슨 영혼을 가졌길래 무엇이 날 이토록 너의 곁에 잡아두나 내게 난 추억조차 없는데 난 이제 네가 너무 지겨워 너의 맨날 똑같은 잿빛 표정 아니 나는 내가 두려워 이미 너의 부가 돼버렸거든.
RM continues to describe this irony that Seoul is a soulless place that doesn't care about its people, yet you are still attached to it. The monotone impression of Seoul comes from the buildings, the cars, and the people who aren't very colorful or individualistic. And the ash-gray expressions mainly refer to the air quality in Seoul, which can be quite bad. When it's bad, it can feel tiring and confining because anywhere you turn, you can't escape this toxic gray air. Now you can see more of the old, central part of Seoul in the north. Starting with Namsan Tower, also known as N Seoul Tower, old markets like Namdaemun Sijang and Seunsamga Electronics Market, the underpass by Sejong Munhwa회관, the cultural center named after Sejong, the king who invented the Korean alphabet, and Cheonggyecheon, which used to be a smelly stream of water in the old downtown, but now reclaimed into a nice walk and a tourist spot. Finally, in this chorus, RM addresses his 양가감정, double value emotions, which has been a long-time theme in his music. 양가감정 can be translated to ambivalence, dichotomy, or juxtaposition of emotions. RM has mentioned it multiple times. In a press interview, he said, "When you're in love, you think about farewell at the same time. When you feel successful, you think about a fall. This ambivalence is not something we can easily overcome. So one must carry the inherent solitude and darkness. You need a shelter so that you can be friends, with this anxiety. As for the landmarks, the camera moves back south and rides on the riverside to the west again.
가만히 있어도 풍경이 바뀌는 버스와 비슷한 듯 조금씩 다른 빌딩 역한 듯 아닌 듯한 삶의 향과 따뜻한 척하는 차가운 공원들.
The lyrics here emphasize the ambivalence. Something 한 듯 means as if blah, a non-committal observation. Something 한 듯 아닌 듯 means as if blah or not, even less committal. So 비슷한 듯 조금씩 다른 means as if similar or maybe not. They're slightly different. And 역한 듯 아닌 듯 means sort of nauseating or not. And this line about cold parks that pretend to be warm especially resonated with me. It captures how the infrastructure of Seoul is generally new and have this artificial quality and a fake sense of community. In the video, you see Yeouido, an island on the Han River that holds the Congress, National Broadcasting Company KBS, and financial firms, and Yuksam Building, a 63-story building that used to be the tallest in the country back in the days.
늘 헤매야 하는 사람들과 너만은 하늘 품는 한강들과 혼자 하늘을 볼 수 없는 그네들과 다 큰애들과 좀 늦어버린
Okay, we have to talk about the word Han here. Han in Korean can mean many different things. Hana is one, the noun, and Han is one, the adjective. Han is also the name of the Korean people and the nation Hanguk. Han in Old Korean means big. This is where Han River came from. And then there is the unique cultural concept of Han. Han isn't exactly an emotion which is tied to the moment. It's rather a long-term state where you feel a mix of sadness, anger, regret, and pity. It's a passive state of holding obsessions about the past. First category of Han is tied to anger and vengeance. And there is a saying that goes, if a woman holds Han, frost freezes over in June. But usually it's about missed opportunities. So a common expression is, it's my Han that I didn't do blah. So this part describes how much sadness and regret has accumulated in this city and how you can feel like you're too late to make something out of your life.
눈은 툭하면 떠나겠다 해 난 끄덕거려 보지만 웃질 못해 너무 인정하기 싫지만 이미 난 너의 미움과 그 역겨움까지 다 사랑해.
In addition to the bad air, Seoul can sort of feel like a prison you can't escape because the life can be tough and the economic mobility has shrunken down in Korea. So many Koreans dream of 헬조선 탈출. Joseon is the name of the last Korean dynasty before Japan annexed it in 1910. Sadly, Joseon became a somewhat derogatory term during the Japanese occupation. And strange as it seems, Koreans occasionally use it in a negative way even today. So Koreans, especially young people, would easily say 헬조선 탈출, that they want to get out of the sinking ship that is Korea. But not many actually act on it. You know, South Korea is effectively an island because our bridge to the continent is North Korea, who we are in war with. Also, most Koreans only speak our native language, so the idea of moving out of Korea is a big undertaking. Even if you don't leave the country altogether, many people dream of leaving Seoul to find a better quality of life elsewhere in Korea, like in Jeju Island. But it's hard to sustain it because most jobs are in the Seoul area. So it is hard to escape Seoul. But RM says there's also this weird attachment and feelings towards Seoul that keeps us here. The camera's back in the old part of Seoul in the north, like the currency exchange shops in Myeongdong and near the city hall.
전기천의 비린내를 사랑해 선유도의 쓸쓸함을 사랑해 돈만 있으면 살기 좋다던 어느 택시기사의 그 한숨까지도.
Seonyu-do is a small islet on the Han River with a nice park. Actually, it's a dating spot for couples, so it's ironic that RM is talking about loneliness here. One of the things people say about Seoul is that it can be a great place to live if you have the money or power. And I think many Koreans, including myself, would chuckle at this line because it's totally the type of thing a taxi driver would say. In the picture, you see Seonyu-do on the top and an old-school musical instrument shopping mall called Nagwon Sanga, which translates to Paradise Arcade. and a big wholesale clothing market called 평화시장, which translates to peace market. This looks like the northern part of 내부 순환로, a ring expressway around the internal edge of Seoul. BTS and Seoul have a funny relationship because surprisingly none of the members are from Seoul. But they have done commercials promoting tourism for Seoul. And it was a very upbeat campaign.
나처럼 서울에서 I told you.
In contrast, this song is very moody and makes you feel like you want to take a drive around Seoul. But this video sort of does it for me.
여보세요? 한강인데 가려고.
In this ending, RM is in a car in a riverside parking lot, and there is a convenience store. It's a typical scene in Korean drama and real life to sit somewhere in the Han River Park when you are contemplating about your life. In K-pop, there are anecdotes of idol trainees who escape the agency for the day, come to the river, and think about whether they want to continue or not. In this video, RM is not a trainee, but he's having a rare moment of alone time until he is called back by his team or his family back to the reality where love and hate, success and failure both reside. Because, like anyone else in Seoul, you need a shelter so that you can be friends with this anxiety your life brings.